after reviewing the film, what'd you think?
I think probably what, if you were watching the game, you thought or saw, already won. Both defenses played really well. Did a really good job of keeping everything in front. I think if you really look at it, we had 2 scoring drives and they had 2 scoring drives. We downed it on the 6 in the second quarter, I think it was, and they went down the field on a really good drive and scored. And then in the second half, when we scored to make it a 3-point game, they went 75 yards and scored. Offensively, we went all the way down in the first quarter, had a 3rd and goal. Feel like we didn't get a call. We had to settle for a field goal. That hurts. And then we had the drive in the 4th quarter, and that's 2 scoring drives. Then you look at, okay, well, if that's the case, what happened? Well, usually in an evenly matched games where the stats are about the same, the time of possession, the play on the field similar, who makes the most mistakes? We had a punt block, gave him a short field, that scored a touchdown. We fumbled the ball when we were driving. We missed a field goal. And then, the last one, when you're down 10 with 5, 6, 7 minutes to go, you don't have a choice, and gave him a short field for that touchdown. So at the end of the day, there was 3 real critical errors: fumble, block punt, we missed a field goal, and they didn't make those mistakes. And then I think the other thing is, because of those mistakes, they had 2 short fields. We never had a short field. And so, they won the field position battle, and that's why we lost.
What have you seen from the guys kind of bouncing back? Seemed like they were pretty disappointed, which in a way is a good thing because that means they expected to win. What have you seen from them this week going back and ready for Prairie View?
We fully went in there expecting to win, and I think probably disappointed just as much or more because now getting in the game and feeling like, yeah, we definitely belong. We just didn't find a way to close it out at the end. Defensively, still super proud of our effort. I thought we played really well. I thought our defensive front, especially in the first half, was just really, really impressive. We got to tackle better, especially in the second half in space. Again, we were playing a good opponent. Offensively, we've got to be better. We've got to execute better. They did a really good job of keeping the top on things, but in our run game and our intermediate pass stuff, we got to be better. We're just to tick off on some things. And then special teams, obviously, that we can't miss field goals, we can't get punts blocked, we can't not catch the ball at the 1 yard line on a kickoff. That was probably the most disappointing phase of the 3, just because it just didn't feel like we competed at the same level that offense and defense did.
What are the things you want the team to take away from a game like this past weekend, where you're going in and you're not heavily favored, but you go in expecting to win and compete? What do you hope that they do?
What I hope they take away from is they're pissed off we lost, and they are. I mean, like I said, we went there to win. We didn't get it done. We've got to learn from it so that doesn't happen again. We're going to have plenty of games this year that we're going to be in similar situations, and we got to make sure the outcome's different. I do like their urgency, especially today. Knowing we got a game Saturday, and we want to get that win and feeling back, and we want to play well.
How do you, fix that little one tick off? Is it just timing, or is it?
Yeah, I mean, look, sometimes it is. You got a lot of new receivers, and we saw a lot of different looks, and so there's some things like that in the pass game. The run game, it's probably twofold from Saturday. One, we've got to, in some areas, we've got to, whether it's our tracks at the running back position or just stay square a little bit more. I mean, it really hurt us when both Justin Osborne for sure and Logan Parr went out. You could just, live, you didn't know as much when you watched the film, especially in the second half, the run game. I mean, we had a few that were close. We spit some, but we should have had more. And again, it just may be a guy getting on edge on a block or getting a double team split. And, I think Ben Sparks played really well. I think PJ, who didn't rep at guard all week, went in there and played well. But you lost a lot of experience, and that definitely showed up in a game like that.
Not that you want to overlook an opponent or think less of an opponent, but is this a week where you really do need to see some things click and a chance to maybe get some of those things going?
We definitely need to see things click regardless who we're playing. Prairie View, they got a dynamic quarterback from right down the road. We can't let him get loose on us. Offensively, yeah, we just need to execute cleaner. It's not like we're sloppy. We're not, we had the one fumble, the last turnover, whatever. Like, we had the one fumble. We got to protect better. We got to run it better. We're not busting a lot. We just got to execute better if we want to, be a really good offense and score against good defenses.
How important has the experience of the guys that you guys brought in for the defensive line been so far, especially in the defensive line?
I think it's been really good. I mean, one, we go into an environment like that, and that was probably one of the best things from our quarterback to everybody else. Like, they just acted like that's where they're supposed to be, and that's great. So that didn't faze us. And then I definitely think there's an experience factor to some of those older guys on the D-line, both the guys that we had returning and some of the guys that came in. And look, a really good D-line helps your entire defense, both in stopping the run and the pass. And fortunately, right now we're playing well up there.
Do you have any injury updates on like Jo?
Yeah, fortunately, Jo wasn't as bad as we thought. I mean, I was really worried when I went out there we might have lost him for the year. That's not the case. I would say he's probably doubtful this week, maybe questionable for next week, but it's only going to be a week to week deal. It's not, nothing was surgically torn, nothing was broken in his knee and ankle, which is good. A blessing there. Logan Parr should be good. Jordan Hudson rolled his ankle, so we didn't have him majority of the game. He's probably questionable game time this week. He's been out there both days. He's not 100%, but he's been out of practice. So hopefully he'll get to feel better and better. I'm trying to think of who else got banged up in the game.
Was Curley?
Curley was fine in the game.
With Jo being down, is PJ a guy that you can turn to a little bit at guard this week?
I think PJ, I think Ben Sparks, I think Logan Parr, those guys being healthy. We still have Ja'Kai Clark if we need him, and so we're okay there. The thing, Ben Sparks had been out for a few weeks, so he hadn't seen a lot of action. And then again, while PJ in game one played both, last week we predominantly worked him at tackle leading up to the game, and it's kind of how it goes. But I thought he did a good job considering.
What have you thought about the rotation of running backs so far? I know you talked about
Yeah.
keeping everyone active.
I think it's been good from the standpoint that, LJ and Jalen are going to continue to get the bulk of the carries. I think in the first game, LJ averaged over 5 yards a carry. The other night, Jalen averaged over 5 yards a carry. Probably the big disappointment was, he busted the run and he just seemed heavy-footed. I think he's faster than that. And then you got the ball poked out. But hopefully those guys can both, again, along with our entire offense, the run game can continue to get better. I mean, we ran for over 200 in the first game. Felt like it could have been better. We popped some runs the other night, but looking on film, it could have even been better. But I think having that consistency is good. We have confidence in Velton Gardner. We have confidence in Kawan Wheaton, Tyler Levine. But you just can't play 5 guys and get any kind of continuity. So right now, we'll continue similar trends.
What has the ACC news meant in terms of a recruiting boost for you guys?
It's been huge. It's a game changer. I mean, so many guys want to stay home and play here. So many guys want to come to SMU, but they want to play on the biggest stage, and now they've got that opportunity. So it's kind of just eliminated any barriers to coming here, that we have versus the people we're competing with for those same recruits. And with the Dallas Metroplex being the best place in the country to recruit high school kids, it's a big deal for us. And so I think we've seen a good early kind of surge. We got to do our part, but I think you'll hopefully see it continue.
What do you look for when you evaluate quarterbacks?
Man, well, first you want winners. You want them to be able to win. I mean, you look at Preston, he won all through high school. Before that, Tanner won. Before that, Shane won. I mean, you want guys that are – doesn't mean that if he was on a high school team that he was great and they were terrible, that he's a no-go, but, you want guys that expect to win or used to win and know how to win. I mean, winning's a habit. You can learn how to win and you can also know how to lose. And so I think that's honestly the first and foremost. The guys got to have some grit, some intangibles, some moxie, some whatever you want to call it. You know it when you see it. And then for us, I mean, he's got to be able to throw. You shouldn't recruit a college quarterback who can't throw. We like to throw it deep, so can you throw the deep ball? Some guys can, some guys can't. The more of a threat you are with your legs, whether it's true design runs or just scrambling, the harder it is on a defense. And you got to be accurate. So, I mean, at some point in time, I've coached the Cam Newtons, the Nick Marshalls, the De'Aaron Kings, is there going to be a 3rd and 8 that you got to sit in there and be accurate and make a throw? So you got to be able to do that too. But we kind of look at it all. I mean, every kid's different and everyone has different strengths. And what you decide on a kid, you hope you can build around those strengths. But I would say that guys that win, they have a habit of continuing to win.
Played Oklahoma last week, have TCU in a couple weeks. Is there any worry about the guys not being up for this, or is this a pretty veteran group that's not going to let the opponent dictate how they approach things?
We're going to find out. I'm not worried about it. I think Jay Bailey talked to the guys after practice about urgency and respecting everyone, and it's hard to win in college football. And look, we didn't win last week. We want to win. We want to play well, and those are really the priorities. And in order to win, we're going to have to play well.